There are times when we become dissatisfied with a certain aspect of our lives. It could be career, relationships, maybe finances. The dilemma often rises when we try to figure out what we need or want to do to change things. Here to talk about the kinds of beliefs that could be holding you back is Elizabeth Crook, a corporate strategist and the author of the book, Live Large. Good to have you with us on our show today.
Thanks,
all right, going to hit two things real quick. Number one, what do you mean by live large?
Live large is really our decision to take all of our talents, skills, resources, experiences, and saying, I want to put those to use to have a very full and satisfying life.
All right, so now there are certain beliefs that we all have. For the subject of your book, what do you mean by defined beliefs?
A belief is something that we believe to be true. It's just that simple.
All right, so you're saying that there are several kinds of beliefs that people have that may be holding them back in their personal lives. So one of the ones is a belief of this used to be true, but not necessarily true now.
Exactly. And I worked with a brilliant man. He was a very successful entrepreneur, but he was a control freak. And so as we began to talk about his story and to hear about how he happened to be in that role, he described growing up in a household where one of his parents was an alcoholic. And everybody walked on eggshells. So he realized as a child he had to keep everything under control to keep himself and his siblings safe. That was true then, but now he lives in his own house with his own children, has his own business for goodness sake, but he's still operating as if his safety depends on full control.
Oh, all right, so great example there. What about types of beliefs that were never true that are holding folks back?
Well, you know, there was a belief held even by scholars that the earth was the center of the universe. And of course, we all know that that's ridiculous, or that you could sail off the edge of the world and it was flat. And so one of the things when we confront our beliefs, then we can begin to explore new worlds just like those early explorers did.
All right. And then a belief that's true for somebody else, but not necessarily you.
Yes. I worked with a woman, and she also was a very successful entrepreneur. Well, she wasn't a successful entrepreneur. That was part of the problem. She was very smart, and she had created a way to disrupt her industry. But she said, I don't want to deal with people who are big shots and who have all the connections, because my father did that, and he got totally taken advantage of and exploited, and I'm never going to let that happen to me. All
right. So you've got a book, but there's also great information and resources on your website.
Exactly. That's ElizabethBCrook.com. People can download success plans. They can tune in and see some of the Facebook Live broadcast, and they can also sign up to get our weekly blog, which is frequently funny, amusing, or inspiring, and always practical.
All right, love all those together. Thank you very much for being with us today. Live Large, the Achiever's Guide to What's Next, is available wherever books are sold.